Good morning, y'all. Or wait, is it morning? What is it? I don't know. But I'm gonna wait for y'all to get on here, or some of y'all to get on here. Let me put on my lipstick. Because I know y'all are asking for me to explain. So I'm on here to do that. So I'm gonna wait on some of y'all. Hey, Carla. Hey, Naba. Nab. All right. How are y'all? I'm about to break down. Yo, I'm kind of happy. Your boy said something, so I can go ahead and run my mouth now. I'm ready. Baby, I seen his boo. Y'all, it's just been a very hard month for me. Like, not like as far as this, but like I have a lot going on right now. Um, and it's just been like a month, yo. Um, and I have a lot of really good things getting ready to happen, but it's just taken like a lot of like diligence and um focus and like elevating myself and elevate what I do, and it's just been a journey. And yeah, so I haven't been, and I'll be honest, what happened. Okay, so before I address what is going on, I do want to say something to you guys, because it clicked to me when I had this conversation with Ivory. So, a week after I got back from vacation, I was on the phone with Ivory, and Ivory said to me, and I'm saying this to you guys so you guys can understand the context and you can understand why it was like an epiphany to me. So, it's not going to be like necessarily make it'll make sense when I finish saying what I'm saying. So, first of all, you're not going to rush me on my platform about what I'm going to speak about. That's crazy. Thank you for you guys. This is from Zulu. All of my glasses are from Zulu. These were like 25 bucks. All of my glasses, every single one of them are from Zulu, and they're prescription. So, including the prescription, is 25 bucks. Okay, so all right, so let me go ahead and tell you guys first, so this could all make sense. So, I was on the phone with Ivory, and she said to me, um, when you're going on a road trip, like, what's the first thing that you do? And I was like, oh, I just check to see, like, if wherever I'm going, if there's any sundown towns on the way. And she was like, sundown towns? I said, yeah, like, I just check. She was like, what is that? And so I told her, and she was like, while you were saying it, I started Googling it because I thought you were making that up. And she was like, not that I ever made anything up. She was like, but it just sounded so crazy. So she was like, I saw, like, she was like, I'm looking like this is real. And so I said to her, I was like, well, yeah, that's just what I do, is just I double check. Anyway, she was so in shock. And we had, like, I forgot what the conversation was like, but we, had the conversation, and it was kind of like she was just still stunned like the whole conversation, and randomly she would say something about it, right? And it kind of shocked me that she was shocked. Does that make sense? Where I'm like, girl, okay, relax. Like, I'm just telling you that's what I do or whatever. And she just kept saying that she was surprised. So I had an epiphany that day. Okay. I had an epiphany that day because it clicked to me that sometimes, because I'm used to seeing something, I know what's up. And because someone maybe doesn't see it the way I see it, I perceive it as one way. So I want to just say that. Um, and that was an epiphany to me because it was really about perspective. You don't, okay, so sundown town, a lot of people think that it's a thing from back in the day and it's not current, which is not true. Um, sundown towns are basically towns where, hold on, let me like filter these comments because I don't like getting distracted. Okay. Okay, sundown towns are only where black people can't be in the town after dark, or you'll go missing. They'll, you can smell the rope. That, and it's still relevant today. It still happens today. So there's a misconception that they don't still exist. They do. And that's why when people say, when people don't see racism for what it is and they act like it's no longer existent, it's not true. Like this currently, anytime I take a road trip, I look for if there's any sundown towns on the way to wherever I'm going, because I know that I need to be there and get out of there before a certain time. That is something I automatically do. Any road trip, that is the very first thing that I do, is just check to see if there's any. Okay, so I say that to say, I think that I misunderstood some people in my comment section. And I'm saying that because to me, I'm all about like accountability and understanding. I always seek to understand what's going on. And I think that a lot of people misunderstand, or maybe I say it wrong or it's received wrong, I'm not sure. Because if you're someone that doesn't see things like that, like you feel like everybody's just a person, everyone is just human. Hey Pink, I'm happy you're here. There are currently sundown towns. Nobody could tell me otherwise, and you can Google it. Period. And you're telling me when I know that that's something I have to look out for. But I'm going to actually, girl, hey you. And I'm saying that because I realized after speaking to Ivory about it, that because if you're someone that doesn't view people like that and you look at people like everyone's human, you treat everybody the same, you don't see why someone would do it. And I think for me, it comes off as you're intentionally not trying to see it. So I'm saying that to bring awareness to the fact that I wasn't aware of that, but I am now. What do you mean? Vidor, Texas. Go look up Vidor, Texas. There are plenty. That's why there's a whole green book for us to look where they are. Come on, use your heads. Use your heads. There was something else I was gonna say. Viter, I think Viter's one of the most popular ones, but they're literally everywhere. There's still some upstate New York. Like they're literally there. Listen, some random guy, you have what you're on right now trying to say that I'm wrong. It actually has something on there. It's called the Worldwide Internet. I think you're connected to it right now because generally that's like how you're able to view creators. And like, but if you look in Google, you could type it in and it'll tell you. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me put my mic in here because I'm in my car and my phone was overheating. So I had to put something up so that it, oops, I'm sorry, y'all. And let me keep my AC up. Let me put my mic in. Because I know you guys are hearing the car blow. And let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, can you guys hear me? That is not true. Actually, go look up stories. There are definitely sundown towns, and the fact that you are in here really trying to negate me is crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. Like we're making this up in our heads just because we want to be targets. Like that's, are y'all for real? A dusty car, baby. I drive a 2024 Audi. Dusty, ya mammy. You wish. Your mammy. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. Um, so let's talk about Case. And this is a tea time because I think this is gonna be so funny, child. Okay, so one day Case sent me a message and said that he had been speaking to Christy, I think via Facebook or TikTok. I can't remember which one. And so I was like, oh, okay, like what are you kind of like expecting out of it, you know? So he was like, yeah, you know, I want to be able to interview her when Gypsy gets off parole. So I was like, yeah, you know, it'll be a crash out. I said that might be a good idea, but I thought that he was like just talking to her in the DMs. Next thing you know, homeboy said he done bought a burner phone. And I'm like, wait, a burner phone? I'm not arguing with you about sundown towns. Like I'm just not like I'm not doing it. Sorry. Um no, I haven't heard of that. So, I was like, wow, you got a burner phone, like a whole burner phone? That's crazy. Um then he says, you know, like she's basically I can't even remember all of what he said she was telling him. But I was like, you're like believing what she's saying. Christy's a liar. Like she will use you to put out information. Um, especially when, and I didn't know about this until after it was posted. Was when he posted the video of Gypsy going to Ryan's house. I was like, wow, like, why would you have posted that video? Like, what, how was that supposed to, like, what was that supposed to do other than try to paint Ryan in a picture to make Gypsy look better. Like what I didn't understand like how that video, like what the point of it was, right? Now I didn't know that he had the video. I didn't know about none of that until it was posted. People had sent me the video or screenshotted. I think I seen it on Conspiracy's page before I even knew. So I was like, oh, okay, that's like crazy. And he was upset that everybody was upset at him about putting it out there. Okay. So I said to him, well, if you're keeping in communication with her to interview her or like to get tea, after Gypsy tells on her, like gets off parole, whatever, that might be, a good idea. But I'm thinking this is just in the DMs. I'm not thinking he's going to go buy a burner phone. I would never go buy a burner phone to talk to nobody. Right? So I was like, that's just kind of crazy. Hey, Carmen. So I was thinking, hey, Gina. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But okay, to each his own. But then it was like, it turned from that into like him starting to believe what she was saying. And then he would say stuff like, oh, I think I'm able to read her pretty well now. And I'm like, this woman's a liar. Like, how do you think you'd be able to read her? Like, she lies to everyone. Keep in mind, Christy said to him, well, Dee Dee would still be alive if she wasn't such a bitch. If anybody could say something like that to you, you can never trust them. When her child lives in her house and she would say that about the girl mama, that she had the mom sauteed like sausage, I was like, you can't ever trust anybody like that. Like anyone that could fix their mouths to say that, I feel like that just tells you everything you need to know about that person. So I already thought that was like crazy, but it kind of, I feel like it transitioned into like he felt like he developed some type of rapport with her where he felt as though at some point he was being honest with her. And that's crazy to me. And then what happened? There was something that happened. Oh, so somebody had said, because I didn't even really watch the post. I mean, watch what he posted, honestly, because I'm not trying to be rude, but it's ridiculous. So when he said that, what was it? There was something he said that I wanted to make a point of. Oh, that she was gaslighting him about Ken doing coke. Baby, newsflash, she been gaslighting you this whole time and you fell for it. So now because you know he was doing coke, you're sitting there like, no, she gaslighting me. So you believed what she was saying to you before? Anyone that would believe anything that comes out of any of their mouths without no receipts, even with receipts, you got to wonder how much they fabricated the receipts. Hey, Melissa, thank you. How are you? Like, that was so questionable to me. I was like, wait, hey, Mercy. I was like, that's crazy. Like, what? So I thought that was like nuts anyway. Okay. And then I was going back to thinking about what he had said. So I don't know who told me this, but they said that he told the YouTube that he would never um, he would never ever give out the baby's photos. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie. And I feel like don't say my word is my bond when you know you're lying. That's a problem. Just don't say anything. You don't have to sit there and lie. Like, what's the point of lying? Because if you're lying about that, it makes me question anything you have ever said. So now, to me, it's two liars lying to each other. And a con can't. How do you let a con you? And you a con too. So yeah, that's crazy to me. The whole thing's crazy. Um, but I do feel like it transitioned to where he was very trusting of Christy, and I didn't understand. First of all, like I said, the burner phone to me is crazy. I would never go out of my way to go get a phone to talk to Christy Blanchard or any of them for that matter. When you could, you said it was just to interview her. I don't. It shouldn't have been any like lengthy conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, he had an actual phone. Like he. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how I know it was a real phone. He told me he went to Walmart to buy the phone or Target or one of them, and he said that he was asking them like, could this not be linked back to my name or anything like that, and like how to use it, and he was like, yeah, because I don't want this anyone to know it's me. And he was like, I started thinking about it and I started sounding like a cheating husband. I was like, that's crazy. So I was like, he was like, and the more I explain, the more guilty I look. Could you imagine your ass at the Walmart trying to explain, but you not doing it, but it looked like that. No matter what you say, it don't matter, cause you just look like you doing some BS, right? That's why I was like, man, it was just like with the way he was explaining it, it just made me laugh because I was like, dang, like I could see how someone could think that because why else would this man have a burner phone if he wasn't like that's what they're thinking. They're not thinking he's doing true crime or nothing like that. So I could see that. So that's how I know for sure. But I also I don't think it was that serious to get a burner phone. Yeah, he just sounded like no matter what he said, I feel like he was going to walk into the situation and look guilty just because it just doesn't sound good. But hey, Steve, thank you, V. Um, but it was crazy, and what I also thought was very crazy, and this is going to be very telling to you guys about Christy, because now that I could talk to Krusty, talk about Krusty. She said to Case that she wanted him to send her a photo of what she looked like. I mean, he looked like. It sounds like like she was trying to be a hoe. Case was not on that type of tip. I don't believe so. Okay, let's be clear. But Krusty was. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's the type of time she was on. I'm telling you, the whole thing was nuts. Like, nuts. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, and I said this to him, I feel like she was using him to put out a narrative that she wanted to be put out there. And I don't think he realized that. I think he thought that, and I don't know why he thought that he could trust her at all. But I think that was the entire intentions. And that she wanted to have someone that would spin her narrative. Now, I also think what was funny is she was trying to convince him to have a conversation with Gypsy, because he was talking about how Gypsy was such a nice person, and she, if Case gave her a chance, he would see that. He never bit at that, from what I know. Okay. Again, this is from what I know. I don't know if he really did or not. Okay. Um, but there would be times like Case and I would get into like a little spat where I'd be like, "Are you seriously believing her? So you're believing what she said?" I would just have to. I really would be like, "What?" But I don't know. It's just crazy. E- exactly. She wants somebody to leak them baby pictures. I already figured that out. Nobody's going to pay for those baby pictures. Gypsy's literally a nobody. Um, what would be the point? Does anyone even care about what the kid looks like? Not really, right? Like I personally, I could have did without seeing her. Like it wasn't. I didn't ever feel like I needed to see what her baby looked like. It didn't. I'll be honest with you. It never really mattered to me. But baby, Little Miss Dangerous, that is not a lie. The fact that she had the baby in front of the iPad when she said she was not gonna have her baby using any electronics was definitely first. Child, the way them people lie like a rug. Yes, that baby was propped up right in front of the iPad. The iPad running 90 to nothing with cartoons on it. Like, girl, didn't you just say you was gonna get your baby like a fake electronic iPad? They liars. All of them. Just liars. Exactly. Using her imagination, that part. First of all, to have a baby occupied at that young age, like a couple of months old with an iPad, is crazy. There's so many baby toys. You could just put them on a little baby mat and give them little toys, and they will have the time of their lives. When my daughter was that age, the only time I would have like an iPad or anything on is like if we were on like a long car ride, I would hitch it to the back of the seat so she would have like lullabies and stuff like that, to listen to and watch. But at that age, I mean, what are they really watching an iPad for? That is crazy to me. And she's in the house on the bed with the iPad. Like that's crazy. At a couple of months old? Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, well, I would think that the doctor, because, Okay, I don't know. Are they doing that now? Where I know when my kids were younger, especially my daughter, they would have you like fill out one of those things every time you bring your child in, where it would like tell you the milestones, like not tell you. You're supposed to check off what they're doing and what they're not doing, and that once you answer, like when you get up to like three no's, you stop, and then it would basically tell you where your kid is at. Oh, that's true, Kathleen. Oh, of course. Yeah, her safety is definitely a concern, especially considering how Gypsy and them are, and especially the way Ken has been. Of course, she's a hands-off mom because I think that she's really about herself, and I just don't know what Christy's relationship really is. But it seems like Christy has that baby more than anybody else. I don't know. I'm just speculating based off of what I've seen and heard. Now, she said based off that baby was cooing at like 1 month, right? That's what she said. These people are weird. I don't know if Ryan really has a girlfriend. Um, I think women would take pictures with him like that just to like kind of take a dig at Gypsy. Not that I don't think that he could get someone. I'm sure he could. I don't know. I don't know because I also think after those emails dropped, I think people's perception of him are definitely different. Oh, he said he's talking to someone. Well, I think he didn't think anyone would know that he was doing rugs. I think that he, because think about it, the fact that they keep trying to say it was a vape should tell you everything you need to know. Now, see, that's the part where I feel like everybody knew because it is obvious, right? It is super obvious that that was what was going on. But first of all, he shouldn't be vaping around a baby either. Like the fact that that was an excuse, it tells you how out of touch Christy is too with why would you have a baby around you vaping? I don't know if I see Bree. Bree to me is someone that will go down with the ship. Like if Gypsy even tried to cut her off, I think she'd be like, "But I've done so much for you." Like I don't think that I don't know. Little Miss Dangerous, that's the thing. Gypsy lies so much that even when she says she doesn't do it anymore, you know she is. No, it wasn't. First of all, I don't see how anyone would think it was a vape when his pupils, the erratic behavior, the way he, like, that's not vaping. You know, like, the fact that anyone would think that that's vaping is crazy. Wait, vaping is drugs? I didn't know that. I don't know what's in vapes. Yeah, I don't know nothing about vaping, none of that. No, first of all, you heard the straw. Like, vapes don't sound like that. Vapes do not sound like that. Like, you could literally hear the. And then he kept, like, this. And I feel like those are, like, telltale signs. Oh, they could have cannabis vapes. I didn't know that. But I think part of the reason why Ken is always so arrogant is because he's doing rugs. So it gives him, like, this, like, thinking he has, like, a superpower. Because also, he seems as though he drinks, right? We've seen that. And then doing rugs, I think it makes it almost inevitable for him to be, like, someone that's very angry, like he always is, and hostile with her. And, like, I think, yes, courage. Bingo, Mersey. Bingo. That's exactly what it is. First of all, let's be honest. Hey, Alf. Do you think you could really be with Gypsy Rose Blanchard and not be on rugs? In real life. Do you really think? Ain't no way. To tolerate Gypsy Rose Blanchard as a sober person? Yeah, nah, I just. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Not at all. Now, did y'all see that Bree got a tattoo? All of her crew, except for, like, whoever was with them, got a tattoo that says F Bree. Baby. Did y'all also see in that Facebook group they were asking questions about the feeding tube because someone else had a child that was very similar, and they were like, "Oh, I want to know because it seemed like all legitimate issues." Hey, Bino. Oh, it's definitely permanent. Permanent. Yo, when I saw that get leaked, I said, "Ooh, child, this is not looking too good for you, baby doll." Well, first of all, the fact that Sheena got a tattoo and she needs a liver, so you just like to hell with it. Could you picture yourself going to get a tattoo to say FBI, this fantasy group that you made on TikTok Live? What? Thank you, Spook. Like, you made this up to mimic the FBI. And you walked into a tattoo parlor and said, "Yeah, put it on me. That's a good idea." Like, you literally thought that that was a good idea. I can't make it make sense. I cannot make that make sense. I can't make it make sense. Okay, and then last night I seen, no, this morning. This must have been around 6 o'clock in the morning. I seen a video pop up with Ivy Rose Girls Wild on live. Like, going off and crying last night, apparently. Did y'all see that? Chill. Lord, these people are crazy. Me now, you're so funny. Somehow drug free. Isn't that crazy? Like they're nuts. There is the whole thing is just nuts. So I don't know what that was about, but yeah. Yeah, I so Sheena kind of makes you wonder like why would you get a tattoo if you know that you're on the list to get a liver? Like doesn't that like dequalify you or something like that? Like that has to cuz they'd be like she out here like living life on the edge knowing that tomorrow's not promised to her. Mindy said I'm moving to the bayou to feel better about my life. Child, I refuse to believe everybody is like that down there. I just think it appears like that because the people that do all their running of the mouth are a dumpster fire. But I'm sure they got to be some affluent, normal people down there. Well, there has to be. It just, and I think that's why they dislike them so much is because of the way they make them look. That's true. You are who you surround yourself with. Girl, I know. That would be the first thing I would say if I was from there because I was like, yeah, no, don't judge me based off of them people. He was unalive there. Not mosquitoes won't even bite Gypsy. You play too much, Nab. So, what I was wondering about Gypsy being in that Facebook group, do y'all think that she was trying to use the group for some sort of content, whether or not it's TV, YouTube, TikTok? I think she was plotting on them to use them and their information. Ooh, stealing stories. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, hey, the Sea Bunch. Oh, I didn't think about that. I will say this, it seemed like the baby looked fairly normal, but then, that doesn't really say that much. I don't, man, but I could see her stealing those stories, just like she stole the Turpin kid story. Yes. That's crazy. Could you imagine knowing that she had went into that group to steal stories? You know what? If I was somebody in that group, I would have made the most ridiculous post about how my parents abused me with the most ridiculous lies that could be debunked so fast. And I would have just seen if she stole the story. I would have actually said, let's see which one of us could put the most unhinged post on here and see which one of our posts she steals. Yeah, she did steal her friend's post in jail about her grandfather, right? She didn't borrow people's trauma. She straight up said, "Hey, this mine. I'm finna take this with me. You'll see it on TMZ later." Like, she straight up stole it. Thank you. And you want to know what's really funny? Kate Marie stole Gypsy's story that Gypsy stole from somebody else. When I said there's no honor amongst thieves, child. You know when I realized that they were so facts, Melissa, that they were really a complete shit show is when Kate Marie got on TikTok and her nub was just flying across the screen talking about she was slapping Fancy. That's when I was like, you know what? I feel like a complete fool believing any of this. Like this, at this point, I can no longer even take myself serious at this point. Like that's when I was just like the level that I feel so goofy. Like, like at what point do you say to yourself, you know what? Let me just take my nub and have it fly across the screen. Yeah, I think that'll be comical. Like you with a straight face, and we're supposed to take you serious. Botox, baby, where? Where? You're a hater. I'm telling you, when I seen that nub fly across the screen, I said, when I, like, that was the day that I was really like, I cannot believe that you fell for this. Thank you, Nay. That's when I was like, the fact that you fell for this lady's story is nuts. And I was like, dang, I really believed what she said. That's nuts. Okay. I think it's just, it's nuts, the whole thing. But the fact that Gypsy stole someone's story and Kate Marie stole that story, and then they're accusing each other of stealing their stories. Thank you, Spook. Man, Gypsy should come out with a toothbrush line that's something that looked like a toothbrush, but it's a, bzzz. She need to do something silly like that and just turn it all into a joke because you're a clown. The fact that you were out here using that, and the fact that Gypsy said, "What? Everybody's done it." No, no, my toothbrush has only been in my mouth. Thank you, Nay. I appreciate it. Like I haven't used my toothbrush for anything. You know what? My old toothbrushes that I have bleached, I have used to clean off sneakers. That's it. That's it. It hasn't been anywhere else but there. But the fact that she tried to say, "What? Everybody's done that." No, ma'am. Everybody has not used a toothbrush in their hoo-ha. That is not normal. You know what, honey? I do think she got addicted to attention from the time she was a child, and she hasn't stopped and won't stop, which also makes you wonder about what's going on right now. She's definitely perverted. She definitely is. She absolutely is. And anyone that doesn't see it, that shows. Because think about a toothbrush going up there for real. It gotta be raw. And not in a good way. Thank you, Melissa. Like, really just let that sink in. This is not AOL chat. Like, what are y'all doing in the chat? Hey, y'all remember age? What is it? Age, place? No, age, gender, and location. What was it? It was given very much that just now. Oh, yes, the bananas. And the fact that she even tried to say that everybody used bananas before. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Melissa. Yes. Age, sex, and location. That's what it was given just now. But the bananas, she was like, I had too much fun at breakfast with the bananas. I'm not even buying my kids any more bananas after that. After I saw that, I was like, I can't even have them in the house anymore. I don't want to look at that. You know, it makes things really sad for. I just feel like Gypsy is no good out here on these streets. There's nothing good that she could bring to society. She's more of a hindrance. And I know that that sounds really bad, but I feel like you just have to accept that for what it is and see it for what it is and just say, okay. Yes, because she sexualizes everything, and that's gross. No redeeming qualities at all. First of all, the fact that you would let him do Coca Cola with your baby in the room, does that not tell you? And shame on Christy for trying to cover that up. Why even say anything at all? To keep saying a vape, like, girl, cut it out. Oh, I don't want to be a cokehead. Sorry. I'll pass on that. She can have that, baby. She can have that. Y'all, the emails are wild, but even like hearing the text messages, it's crazy. No, that's the part that's crazy, Melissa, is that who would even let you vape around their child, let alone try to explain that and say, like, no, it was just vaping. Like, what's the problem? It's just nuts. But all right, y'all, I wanted to just hop on here and explain to you guys because I know everyone was like, what is she posting on here? I just want to explain to you guys that basically him saying his word is his bond and he would never send pictures, that's obviously a lie, and that he lacks integrity. But I am going to record a video today. And Ivy and I were supposed to go live last night, but some crazy stuff happened, so we didn't get a chance to go live about it. But maybe tonight I'll reach out to Ivory. But thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Nay. Yes, I'm a trans. This is my Adam's apple right here. You see it? Bye, y'all.